What's going on, everybody? It is Sunday, December 8th. This is Listen for Commands. Today we have an awesome guest on the show. Multi-time world champion Heather Connor is going to be joining us. We're going to be talking about everything, basically. And some saucy topics. I just invited her, so hopefully. Come on. There we go. Hello.
Hey.
Good morning. Are you recovering from that devastating defeat? That's rough. That was rough.
Listen, I I really I'm really trying to be one of those people that control my temper in situations like this because it's a game on a screen and I'm like, I want to go to bed. I went to bed.
Oh
Mad.
yeah, there's nothing that's yes, the emo. You see, people like. So what's your background? Like, did you go to Texas? So I
Um,
didn't. How did you understand?
so I have family that lives down in Texas, but I've also been donating to their powerlifting team and actually just spoke to Sandra about making that like a commitment all of 2025, monthly donations to their team, as well as giving away free products to them for people that may need uniforms, wrist wraps, anything like that. So,
Yeah, awesome. Okay. Yeah, collegiate powerlifting. I'm the team powerlifting guy. So like anything team powerlifting, I'm like all in on. So like I help Greenville University down in Southern Illinois. They have a big team program. I am like super into anything team powerlifting related. So thank you again for coming on. This is awesome to have a multi-time world champion come on. I was looking at your open powerlifting, man. When someone's open powerlifting is like when you have to scroll to move to open powerlifting down, it's like that's like to stay in the sport for that long is obviously impressive. What was your background? Like how did you get into all like powerlifting in general? And then I guess we can go from there.
yeah, so basically the story is the same as like I tell everybody else. Like I wish I had some like grand motivating story behind it, but I was literally working outside of the YMCA, like working out there. And I was probably definitely on a treadmill during my college years, just trying to stay like physically fit. And someone who I call like preachers of the gym that do nothing but talk instead of work out.
The mayor,
I was,
the
yeah,
mayor of
like
the gym. Yep.
I was the victim that day. And he came up, and I guess they had like a powerlifting team, and somebody had dropped out, and they're like, "Would you be interested?" I was like, "Sure." Like, mind you, they didn't tell me the rules or anything. Like, so I just, like, I was like, "Okay, I just gotta be the strongest person there." And I ended up bombing out.
So this was like a pickup meet, right? This wasn't anything like.
No, like, it was a USAPL meet.
Oh, okay. So I was gonna ask because there's a DQ, and I'm like, why is there a DQ
Like,
like on here?
I just thought I was supposed to be the strongest person. Like you would think if they wanted me to join the team, they'd be like, okay, so here are the rules. And like, they would see me like actively working out in the gym and not telling me nothing. So
Funny.
yeah.
So that's well, thankful. Well, very thankful for that. Everything's an accident. A happy accident when things come about like that.
I
Um,
was so embarrassed. And like, Jen Thompson was working the table of that meet. And after I missed my first bench on like not pausing, I was like, yeah, I'll up it. I did that rookie thing,
oh
like, yeah,
yeah,
just
yeah.
up the weight. And she was trying to tell me, like, don't, are you sure you want to
Yeah.
do that? I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. Who are you? I'm gonna up it.
I have saved many people's meats at the table. I have saved many. Just like, are you sure? Are
Right.
you
Like,
sure?
I
Like,
was
I don't.
so confident, and I was so confident that I was going to hit the second one and didn't, and kept the weight the same for the third because I was like, maybe this person's right. Got disqualified, cried at Outback. Really more embarrassing. I don't know what was more embarrassing, that or making the waitress's day like really awkward.
I just want a blooming onion. Don't you want a blooming onion or not?
Can I get extra bread with my
Oh,
tears?
yes,
Thanks.
it's the driver too. All right, awesome. So you obviously, I'm trying to pull up your open powerlifting right now because I kind of want to. We'll do the Rolodex of this. This may be the whole show. Is just going through your powerlifting. Um, because I was You know what's nice is you're the first Heather, so it's like really easy. So obviously USAPL, that's where everyone, if you pass a certain, it's almost like for some people they don't even like some kids don't know what the USAPL is because I do all PA stuff. I'm like you don't go on Instagram or anything. I'm like, okay, good. I guess we're winning on some front. Wow, this is not my day.
They must be really young.
Well, it's not young in like they're like in their teens,
Right.
but it's they're new to powerlifting. So like,
Right.
you know, now it's been 2 or 3 years that where like there hasn't been any. We don't do anything USAPL. Oh, there we go.
Open powerlifting really does be exposing people sometimes.
Man, myself included. So like I'm not very good at powerlifting, right? But I am a huge sports fan. And so I love the spectacle. I love running events. Like I've directed 18 meets. I love the spectacle. But people will literally, because I'm very opinionated, they'll like pull up in powerlifting. I'll be like, pull up your bank account, bro. Like, what are you like? You're like, I just don't. I commit myself to a different way. So yeah, powerlifting has exposed me. All right, so your first meet was okay. So this was the Festival of Power, the Fall Festival of Power. Do you still have a shirt?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fall Festival of Power where you were DQ'd. Your next meet was Battle on the Border. Oh, so these are all like this, the North Carolina. So that's Jen Thompson's like holy grail.
Yeah, and I was actually waitlisted for that one. And somehow like 2 weeks before it like came about, they're like, hey, I was like, sure, this would be my last junior one. So I jumped right in.
Right. Interesting. Oh, and they just had the thirds here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, still to start off at 4. See, this is I love the progression. The 415 dots to 433 to 447 to 449, 460. Like that's a good testament to like a lot of people want to get rich now, but that's just not how strength training works. It just isn't. And then your first you took second at nationals in like your third meet.
Yeah. Which the coach I had at the time, I thought until the day of that he was going to be there. Like I'm texting him and everything. And then he was like, actually, I'm not going to be able to make it. I'm like, hello, it's the day of.
Yeah, like what you're going to cancel your flights, and I guess it was in Pennsylvania, so it's not like.
So my dad had to step in, not knowing anything.
Oh, um,
Yeah, literally. I
no,
can't even get mad at him. Like, he doesn't know what's going on. He was there supposed to be cheering me on.
he's gonna. Can I get 218 pounds? Like, sir,
Kilos?
kilos. It has to end in a 2.5 or a 5.
It was insane.
And you had like a good Rolodex of local meets in between these. Arnold, StartingStrength.com Pro Roll Challenge. That's got to be an example of something that just came and went. Starting Strength. That's the Mark Ripito.
Yeah, Kimberly Walford yelled at me at that competition.
Wow, you have something at every competition.
Yeah, like everything always happens to me. Like I had missed my second deadlift for a dipping motion, and basically it was a motivational yelling at me like, why do you keep doing that? Like, stop doing it. I was like, okay, got it. And I got it on my third.
This is awesome. I'd like to have a good guest who like I guess two good yapper helps.
Yeah.
And then your first worlds was the Keelan, Texas.
Yeah, Killeen, Texas.
That was the famous Hackverse Gibbs, the most famous. Who'd you take second to there?
Maria from Puerto Rico. Which I just went against her at NAPF, and that was very surreal because I beat her.
Oh, you came back for your revenge.
Like in her face. Remember me?
It's all right. So when I was emceeing Bench Worlds, Puerto Rico is PUR, and for some reason I said like Portugal because I didn't know what it was. So I got some. They were man. They the IPF, they get mad about that stuff.
Well, maybe they should make it like more clear.
No, I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah. Put the flag or something.
Yeah, put the
Yeah, there
flag.
you go. Another Raw Nationals, yeah, the Raw Nationals. That's like so that's when they were talking about Raw Nationals being like a warm up meet for Worlds. Because did you have any competition in your class like in 2016, 2017?
Um, no. I was about to really sugarcoat that. No.
No, I mean that's the problem. It's like a lot of times, like, so we watch real sports, and in real sports, like when someone's significantly better than someone else, you don't pretend like it could be a close matchup. Like you
Right.
talk about other stories, you make other stories. You talk about like, hey, this person's next meet is world, right? You don't need to talk about them getting blown out. Like it just like
Right. Like,
talk about other things. I find a lot of times it's trying to pretend to make matchups when we could just talk about other things.
right. Like, I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet. No.
Correct. We need just a little bit of more of that across the board. All right, we had another Worlds in Sweden. You won that one. Was that your first? No, you won in Belarus. That was your first win.
Yeah, and I was like sandwiched in between two Swedish people, and respectfully, I can say both of them were. That was pretty scary. I was like, dang, this could go head to head. I think I ended up winning on body weight on that one. Yeah,
Oh
it was
well, your
body weight.
class has been okay. It's been close.
Yeah,
And Maria from Puerto Rico wasn't there at that one. That was all.
no. The only time I competed against her was in Killeen, and I think she went more equipped after that. But yeah, when I competed against her in APF this past year, she was raw during that one. So
Oh, so a lot of these people are still around.
yeah,
Right. And then you did an abs meet. So they're actually coming to do a meet at my gym. They've been
you'll
doing
love
this
that.
well.
They're
Yeah.
fun.
Yes, I mean they're my cup of tea when it comes to like event production. Like
Right.
that's really what I mean. Sheffield, that's what Sheffield is. It's like I just don't understand why we can't do that at Worlds. Why do we have to continue? We know it works. It's like it's so silly. Why we can't make things a little more fun? I mean, the Olympics is fun. I watched the Olympics for 2 weeks straight. It's all fun. It's all Snoop Dogg and like
Okay, yeah.
like I don't get it. Like it makes no sense. Like why are like if you want to get into the Olympics, then go get Snoop Dogg.
Yeah,
Like Jesus.
because he's doing all of these side quests, and I was actually talking about the ABS Pro yesterday with one of my friends, and I sent her one of my videos from like 2021 where there was like you could see me squatting, but you also see strippers.
Okay. So is that the kind of fun? My warm-up room, I'm gonna disinfect my warm-up room. That's
Like
crazy.
maybe you'll have fire break. Like it's always like something. And I remember I had posted that video, and nobody even paid attention to any of my lifts because you could see.
All right, I have to find that video
I'll
because
send it to you.
okay,
It's really funny.
that's so funny. Okay, so strippers and power. Okay, yeah. The cheerleaders, they'll go with cheerleaders.
Mm-mm.
Well, that's awesome that you did that, and like that's kind of like where the Article 14 thing like sucks. Is like you can't like cross over and do some of that cool stuff. You can't go lift on a bendy bar. Like that's where some of that stuff is kind of like
It's just
annoying.
so annoying. And the Article 14 is even more annoying because like I find it super biased. Like if you like somebody, maybe that rule doesn't apply to you as much. You know what I mean? Like
No,
I've seen
what are
some
you
real
talking about? That would never happen.
like
Ever. Never.
do I need to be a whistleblower?
No. So listen, it's a rule. You can like the rule or not like the rule. It's a rule,
That's
and
right.
so they can enforce it however they want. And if you don't like it, you got to go somewhere else. And right now, the IPF has the best thing, so everyone's kind of stuck. And so, like, what I say is, like, if you really care about it that much, go to make something better. Like, if the USDPL was running a meet in Austin with a $500,000 in prize pool, Article 14 wouldn't matter
Right.
because people would be flopping. It's like, go build something else, and then you can complain about it. That's the only reason
Well,
it's
so
enforceable.
that was my thing, and I know I sounded very like I put like my teacher tie on, and or somebody was just super upset. I'm like, well, the rule isn't new at this point. Like, you know the rule, and you decide, or you just had it in your head that you could go against it, and now you're upset because you got called out on it.
Right.
Like,
Right. And now that it's out there and everyone knows about it, it's not like you can like play dumb or anything. Like it
oh,
is
I
what it
didn't
is.
know. Yes, you
It is.
did.
Yes, right, exactly. Well, that's awesome. Okay. Oh, here's another side quest you had. The girl power meet. How did you like that? Well, I like that. I like that one is so cool. What was your experience like there?
First year, loved it. It was great. Second year, I was really mad at them for, and I was really mad for very good reasons. Like, as athletes, we had the understanding that we could break world records at this event. It was listed under the IPF site, like everything. The day I was picked up, that is when they tell me like world records cannot be broken. And I'm like, when were you planning on telling me this? You could have told me this 6 months ago, and I could have did the competition down in Texas and saved all my fucking time. So they did that, and so I had to tell like FD, I had to tell my coach because they were all under this assumption that we could. I mean, even Akita didn't know. I had to like message her and be like, "Hey, did you know about this?" And she's like, "No."
Yeah. So, what was the reasoning given?
The reasoning given was they did not have three international judges, and that was not
Okay.
accurate because on the site it had them listed at one point. So it's like they just took it away. So
Okay.
I was sending all this information to my sponsors, like, what do you mean? And so I'm like obviously very like annoyed at this point, but I think the cherry on top, like I still placed third respectfully against Agatha and Ja Jacob, but we had to get drug tested to get paid whatever. You can drug test me all you want to. But when I went to provide them a sample, I had the drug testing officer, I had the translator, and I had a chaperone with me. So I had like three different people at this point watching me pee in a cup. I don't care. But this lady is like, so I am on like multiple medications at this point. Like, I'm very open about my health issues. So all during the time, I'm having to drink excessive amount of water on this medication. So I go to do the first drug test, and I hear this. Let me rephrase what I was about to call her. I hear this older drug testing lady say something. I'm like, what did she say? Like, I just knew it was something like super messed up. And the translator's like looking at me like, oh my gosh. I'm like, no, what did she say? And the
No, no,
my
no.
chaperone's like, Heather, I was like, nah, like she said something that was probably rude, because not even get into that. Apparently this lady said that I cheated. I like
I
my
hate the
pee
French.
was way too diluted, which okay, that happens when you drink excessive amount of waters, but she flat out was saying I cheated. And I didn't like that. Like, I was mad, and I started going off in that little room. And I was like, all right, she's talking. I'm like, no, no, stop. Where are we going from this? Like, where are we going right now? And I was like, you want another sample? I can give you however many samples you want. I had the girl go get me a soda, so my urine could be a little bit more discolored. Had to wait till everybody went, and then I had to take another sample. Both samples came back after, being tested, and both clean. Like,
I, I hate
this,
the French. You line up
like,
50 of them in a row. I hate them all. Sorry, the French.
like,
Was-
that was very disrespectful. Like, again, you've seen my open powerlifting. You've seen how many things I've done. So for you to like sit there after you, this translator, this chaperone's all watching me to say like, oh, I cheated.
Yeah, that's just not something you say just out, especially that's a like a WADA person. Like you just not very
I actually
professional.
told you Sada about that experience the other day when they came to OMT me. Like, she was out doing the Paris Olympics and the Paralympics, And she was like, yeah, like these people are just so rude. I'm like, well, you want to know a story?
Oh, right. Right. Yeah, no, the USADA reps were all great. They were nice because I was a chaperone, and they seemed like not crazy. The USAPL people, they're crazy about the drug testing.
Well, I was like, this is actually insane. It was very late at night, and I had a flight the very next day. So because I was drinking excessive amounts of fluids, I was up all night having to go use the bathroom. So now I'm even more mad. And then I got some girl's man hitting me up in my DMs. Like, oh, if you French people don't leave me alone, I'm done.
Oh, that's what you get for doing a meet in France. Honestly,
Like, I was like, he was like, hit me up. I'm like, bro, your girlfriend was just my translator. What is this? He was like, oh, it's open. Get out of here. Just get out of my DMs. Goodbye. Leave me alone. Like, I'm done.
oh, Zen is accurate here. He goes,
Like,
USAPL tests are plastic Quest diagnostic cups kept in meat director's fridge for 2 days. Dead ass. No, dead ass. Like if the meat's on a Saturday, they go in my fridge until Monday when I bring them to,
give
like,
me
literally.
my tea back, you weirdos.
Right. No, dude, I swear, sometimes these fucking weirdos, I'm like, the only reason you want to judge people is because you want to watch people pee. Like, who cares? Why are you so serious about like this? Like, have a third party do it.
Literally, like, I
Anyway,
don't know. I just make things super awkward for these people on accident now because they always come after I use the bathroom. So like TMI, I had to tell this lady last time, like, listen, I'm gonna have to try to poop or something. Like, just
Jesus. Anyway, the real reason we had you on is because I want to ask about your holiday decoration battle with your neighbors. How is that going?
oh my gosh, like I feel like everybody is participating at this point, and it's making me even more mad because I've been so busy. I've been so busy, but I'm one of those people that I celebrate each holiday at a time, and they started well before Thanksgiving. So I'm like, you're cheating. This lady has like 6 foot nutcrackers on each side of her door, big lit up wreath. Now the lady across the street has these gigantic ornaments in her yard. And I'm like, what am I doing?
Step up.
Like
Step up.
like I just want to go and destroy all their stuff.
Oh, you just your answer is violence.
If somebody asks me, they're like, does your neighbor know that you had beef with them? I'm like, no, but I'm always outside making these rants and they're always in their yard while I'm doing it, but they don't even speak English. So, like, she's
So this is
just that, like, a stay-at-home Pinterest woman. So everything always looks immaculate. They used to Airbnb their house, and then one Halloween, it just went absolutely crazy. Like, gunshots were going off, and I'm trying to find their number. I'm like, hello? Yeah, that house isn't on Airbnb anymore.
oh. So are you responding in kind by putting up more decorations, or are you just going
Yeah,
to?
like, I mean, people have, like, it's so funny because people live for this, like, neighbor drama that I've created, and they will send me ideas on Instagram, like, hey, do this. Like, this will definitely get them.
No, so I have like in my gym, I have like 5 or 6 inflatables. So I'm like, I need to send Heather an inflatable. Like I have like a 12-foot snowman and stuff. Yeah, absolutely. We hang so for my winter meet, we hang Santa from like the top of the platform. So like over the platform is
That's
Santa.
really cute.
Yeah, no, it is really cool. And then we turn the lights off when you like
Yeah.
the snow effect and stuff. But yeah, maybe we'll have to participate in that. How you got into sport at that? How about your segue future plans? What are your future competitive plans? I know you got a tough competitor in your class in Jessica,
Yeah.
who's now the world record holder. What is the landscape of that looking like?
Um, so everything's up in the air right now. Like, I was supposed to compete in Iceland, had to pull out of that because I couldn't get medical clearance. So I'm thinking by the end of December, I'm going to be cleared to be able to actually start pushing it in the gym again. Because like right now, like I have a bunch of uterine issues. Um, and they're like, hey, like you bleeding like that isn't like that. Like, why are you doing that? I'm like, I don't know. Like, you're the doctor, not me. I've
I
been
go to med
I've been
school.
trying to tell y'all like this is not okay. So I actually have an appointment this week with that. Um, but yeah, so like all this was just like pretty crazy. I still have the mindset that in April I am going to compete at nationals in Atlanta because it is so close. Um, so that's my goal, and I'm just going to see how it goes from there. But I think with what like procedures I have coming up, I will have like no like long-term health issues after that. Like everything could probably be more maintained at that point, and then I can start living life again. Like this stuff has been so draining. Like I want to rip out all of my hair.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I mean, I can't. I mean, I can't. I mean, I've heard. I've kind of. I read through the saga through the Instagram stories, right? And like, I can't even imagine like some of like what you have to go through. But you do feel like there'll be like another side. Like you'll get to the other side of the stuff, and
oh
then
yeah.
you'll have to be able to. Yeah.
Yeah, like at this point, like the pain is not there unless there's like some uterine swelling. But yeah, like I'm trying to get some of that stuff removed, like just out of me, just take it out. Like I don't want it. Which is really weird because like reading into this stuff, like that's like a same day procedure. Like women will go in there, get some stuff removed, and they're like, all right, go.
Hey, I got SPD day today. Let's go.
That's literally it. And I'm like, women are actually unreal. Like, I don't like,
Oh,
you take whatever parts and they're like, all right, go have a good day.
that's awesome. Well, let's see what else I have on here that's maybe a little more. Oh, I was going to ask you about Matt Gary's departure from Team USA. Do you have any thoughts on that particular topic?
Well, I mean, if Matt Gary's listening into this, I don't care. So I've always felt very weird about the entire situation because when, they let him go as a head coach and things were coming out, like, I think sometimes that people forget that there are people with opinions, right? And like it wasn't just me on this team that Matt Gary was part of or Susie Hart with Gary were part of. Like I was on that team in Killeen where they were the team coaches. And I remember that year, everybody but me was mad at them. And at this point, like I really didn't have any like leg in the game. But here is Benika and Jen and Kim, like all of them were just very, very upset. And I was like, they're explaining it to me, and I was like, okay, well, I didn't have that same experience, so I can only go by what you're saying, right? And yeah, like when you speak to these people, like what they're saying right now on social media, it was kind of like, I don't think it went that way. Like I get it, you
No.
want people to be on your side, but I'm like, yeah, but here's this side over here. Like y'all forget that you were working with these people. And I don't ever remember taking a survey, speaking about them, anything like that, but I was told that I did. And I'm like, no, I didn't. Like, don't tell me what I said because it's not going to work in your favor. So when all this was going on, talking about the 2023-2022 season, like I really think Mike did a really, really good job with that. Um, Obviously, I can't speak on how they did at this past Worlds because I was not there. Um, but it was almost like, well, I'm better than you because of these reasons. I'm like, well, they also did these things too. And people weren't complaining on Mike and them like that. But I will say this, like, if I'm just going to call it spade for spade, the things that they were saying people were complaining about, I did hear those complaints coming from master lifters and not open lifters. Does that make sense?
Well,
So you're taking the complaints of somebody else and saying these people said it, and that was not accurate. I didn't like
right.
that.
Yeah, I think it becomes a very um, obviously I have the same thing you do. I hear a bunch of other things from a bunch of other people, and some things I'm like, okay, that's legit, and some things I'm like, shut up.
Right.
Like, I shut up. Like, who cares? Like, the things people choose to complain about are crazy.
Right. And I mean, okay, your feelings may be hurt. Like I understand. I'm sure there are other people's feelings who were hurt when they kind of didn't get into, president positions, everything like that. Like I don't know, but going into the Great Britain aspect of things, I also thought that was weird. I'm sure there was kind of a process, but I know as someone that has like the dual citizenship with Germany, when the IPF separated from USAPL and some people were going over to the Virgin Islands, they could just show their passport and be like, yeah, 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 like I'm part of the Virgin Island team. But for me, if I wanted to go over to the German team, I had to be part of a club for 6 months. I had to show like proper paperwork, everything like that. And which, there's that process. Like I told them I wanted to go through the process just like everybody else. So I wonder, like, I mean, I had to be part of this club for 6 months before I could even compete in their federation. And so, as an athlete, and I did ask somebody, like, I was like, I wonder if it's different for coaches, like the same process. But how do we just take an American citizen and say, okay, he can be the coach for Great Britain?
So, yeah,
Like,
I
I'm just
think
confused.
what's actually interesting is I don't think he's going to have a problem with the IPF. I think
Right.
he's going to have a problem with the British government
Like,
because
yeah,
in
because I
order,
don't
in order
understand.
to work there, you have to have a work visa. So, like, you're going to have, and I'm guessing that's not the easiest process. And like
Unless they're
that's
trying
just,
to say it's volunteer work.
oh, okay. Sure. You know what? All rules are made up. First off, okay, every single rule is made up. I've learned that actually the easy way. Like, all rules are made up, and so I'm guessing they're gonna do whatever they want, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what they're gonna do, but they're just gonna do whatever they want because that's how this works, right? Article 14. We just talked about that. Like, they're gonna do what they want. Who doesn't like they're gonna be like, oh, blah blah blah, flash the look over here. They're gonna do little magic and
Because in my head, I was like, that just seemed like a very easy. I mean, if he's happy, good for you, like I don't want anybody to not be successful. Like if that's something that you want to do, I hope you do it well, and I hope the Great
yeah,
Britain team like does
yeah. I
well
don't
with
think he
you.
should be actively
Like
blocked. Like
I just
that's
thought it was weird. Like the whole situation was weird.
yes. Well, I mean, I think it was weird, but it also makes sense. Like you're a game day handler type person. You were coaching the cream of the crop basically, and like Great Britain's on the up and coming, and if they're going to offer him a job, then
Right.
well, by all means, I don't think we should be actively blocking anything.
Yeah.
Uh,
I just thought it was weird how you speak on the 2022-2023 Open Classic team and saying these things were sad, and I'm like, I didn't say that at all. And I know this person didn't say that. And I know these people didn't say that. So who said that? But I do remember Masters lifters saying that. So I was like, like as they were competing in Mongolia, like some things they were saying, like communication wasn't great. They felt disrespected. They didn't feel heard. Like,
that's just classic Masters. That you could give Masters a brick of gold, and they're going to be like, this brick of gold is like not the right shape. Okay, it's not the right shape for my hand. Like, oh my
but
god.
yeah, it was like stuff like that. But saying that the Classic Open said it, I was like, odd. That's crazy. I was just talking to this lady that was her complaints, and she's a master's lifter. So, and maybe one person did say that, but I know for me and Benika, we did not say that. Like everything was
And,
pretty okay.
and I think you guys of all people, if you wanted to say something, would say something.
Yeah, because like when I had to provide a doctor's note, um, stating like, "Hey, I'm bleeding out of nowhere," that listen, that's weird. I'm gonna give it to you, but don't ask me for nothing.
Right. That's it. You get one. Everyone gets one.
Like,
All right. So enough with the dispensing with the drama. But what do you think the future of the sport is from like your position? Like, what do you think like some of our goals should be? What do you think like we should be trying to accomplish? Obviously, that's my bit. That's the whole podcast is about the future of the sport, the future of production, of competition. What would you like to see? What are some ideas you may have,
I
etc.
would like to see. and I think it should be happening anyways. I would like to see a lot of these top level lifters giving back to the sport. Become a meet director, spot and load, referee, like do your due diligence in it, like trying, like if you want the sport to grow, put yourself in a position to make it grow. Like I remember people in the Carolinas were like, well, there's no competitions. Okay, well, I'm doing my best. Like I'm trying to bring you competitions. Like, and the only way that we can continue to make more competitions is if more people are willing to help out. Because competitions can't happen without referees, spotters, and loaders, right? And so if you're not willing to volunteer your time, I really don't want to hear about anybody complaining about there being no meets. Like, um, and I do see, and I'm not going to say that that's every athlete, but I do see athletes like doing their due diligence and volunteering at bench worlds or anything like that. But it's so easy to give back to the sport. And if you really want it to grow, do what you can to make it grow instead of just being somebody behind a camera saying, oh, do this.
Oh
Like,
yeah, yeah. You definitely get involved. But I think one thing actually lifters could do is if they didn't want to volunteer, compete a little more often.
yeah,
Like come do a local meet. Like because if
yeah.
like there was a really cool local meet just yesterday where it was like Sean Noriega and Sean Mill and like all these people did a local meet, and it's like that will get people
That
to do
brings people
more meets.
in.
Yes. So like, let's say you didn't want to volunteer. I get it. I get it. Like you're an athlete. Come do a local meet. Like go compete. Like go like maybe do if you're like really top tier. Like do a meet and greet. Do a booth there. Like
Yeah.
do a seminar. Like there's other things you can do to get involved to help grow the sport. I mean, honestly making content is great for the sport too. Make like as long as you're making content and stuff, but like maybe and help encourage other people to get involved. But if you didn't want to do that, like just go compete a little more often.
And it's
I'd
not
like to
like you
see.
have to go in there. Like, so I've done that before where I was like, I just want to be a guest competitor. Because at the same time, I don't want people being discouraged when they come in, but like, oh, well, I'm going against her, I'm not winning. I'm just competing as a guest. I'm doing this to have fun. I'm doing this to compete alongside with you guys. Like, let's make this a fun thing and not worry about like, oh, well, she's just gonna win. I don't want to win at all, actually. Like I want you guys to gain from this. And like it's fun. I mean, local level competitions are probably that's where you have the nicest people in the world. You have the most encouraging people in the world and the nicest people in the world.
That's
Like
where the
I still
community.
remember the people that encouraged me at the local level. And they're great. And that's what I think people like about this sport the most is how they feel at these local competitions. Because once you get to like the nationals and the international events, like people are a little bit bratty. They're kind of bitches.
You know what I think? I
Like,
think recently because of the split, the meets have been more docile. Like
mhm.
Reno was really docile. Like there was no crowd. Like I think we're gonna see a change when we get to Atlanta. When we get
Yeah.
to Atlanta, and that meet is gonna have like 300-400 lifters. It's gonna be a different
Well, have y'all,
atmosphere. But
yeah, you've seen the directors. I mean, their local level competitions are out of this world.
right.
Like they put on great competition, so I can just imagine the effort they're going to put in for this national level competition. Like unreal.
Oh, the Cargills.
Yeah.
So the Cargills aren't. I've had Andrew on like 3 times. The Cargills aren't direct. They'll be obviously highly involved. They're
Okay.
not directing. What's going to make this meet really cool is they're sharing the venue with USA Weightlifting. So
Even better.
we're going to have some production cross. I imagine going to have some production crossover there, and just Atlanta's a great. It's a great destination. I mean, you've got the aquarium. You've got the like all the cool stuff. I just love the aquarium there.
You got like maybe Ludacris walking down the
Yeah,
street.
exactly. You're right. On the 50-yard line of the Georgia Dome.
Like I'm gonna figure out a way to make it happen.
If we get
Like it may not be Snoop Dogg because he's West Coast, but we can have Ludacris.
yes. All right. What's Ludacris's appearance fee? See, that's the stuff they're just not creative enough to do. I'd find a way to do something like that. Like, there's plenty of rappers in Atlanta. Like, get a rapper, get him to do a show, put him on a stage.
Yeah, get Little John. Even better.
Oh my god. Ludacris was already kind of a bridge quite far. All right, so when you talked about the future, you talked about like the local level and expansion, but like what about like the pro level? Obviously, you're super high level. Like, what about that top tier? Are we going to see more events like Sheffield? Do you think? Like, what does that pro top tier look like?
I think these competitions do have it in them to put on something like Sheffield if the right people are in control of it. Because like a lot of what I get from like IPF worlds is people will say it's very boring. It's very quiet, and you know, when you have certain weight classes starting at certain days, not everybody is there.
Right.
So you probably won't get a good crowd until maybe the 63 kilo and up comes around, right? Because then everybody's having to be there 2 days before they compete, maybe
Well,
3 days. So
well, you're not going to get a crowd if you don't make it a spectator event.
that's
Have you
right.
ever been to a Have you ever been to a Tech UT game?
Yeah,
Okay. Um, you don't know anyone on the field, right? You go
right.
you go because you're gonna get pissed drunk at the tailgate, and because like it costs nothing to start tailgate.
So we
Like
should start tailgating and like
absolutely,
counting beers at IPF
yes,
worlds. Okay.
absolutely. Every other sporting event in the world, they're drinking before the meet. Everyone, you
It's
can't
gonna
name one where they're
be
sober.
me. And I'm gonna be actually the person that's supposed to be competing that day. And I'm just gonna like show up plastered.
Okay.
Like I was at the tailgate. Where were you guys at?
But in Atlanta, I'm trying so hard to
That's
put together a tailgate.
very Atlanta. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
exactly. Yes.
Like
Open bar, cash
weed.
bar, weed, smoke. Okay, whoa, okay. Outside. I don't even know if it's legal. It can't be legal. Is it legal in Georgia?
No. But I mean, I mean,
Everything's legal for a price, right? All right, but anyway, uh, you can't you expect to have a crowd if you don't make it a spectator experience. You don't.
right.
Okay. Tailgatings are for the adults. You can do things for kids. You can do kid zone. You can make these things more enjoyable and more watchable. If that's my big thing. My big
Well,
thing
in
is
Texas they have the little barbecue thing,
the
right?
illegal barbecue, right? That
Yeah.
was great. Yeah.
Like I feel like that should be happening like not just when certain people are about to go on, but let's make something like all week, right? To where
Right. So it's a circle, right? So
yeah,
you can't have that experience. You can't have all those like you can't get food trucks to come if you don't have people, right? If you have
right.
the people, there's no reason to have like so you have to like it all kind of works together, and there's always like a little bit of risk. So like if I have a bunch of food trucks out, I have to guarantee them a minimum, and
Mm,
then like I could be out if things don't work right. So like
right.
that's kind of part of the job, but we there was like a fleeting moment where I tried to get Nationals to Chicago, but it's just too expensive with the unions and stuff. But like we were gonna do like a full like Chicago food truck
Mhm.
thing, and like we were gonna do outdoor music and stuff. But like having live music and stuff like that like can lend to that's what I think the future of the sport. I think the future of sport is spectatorship. Like how do we make it better for spectators, basically?
Because I mean, I mean, we're making money on these competitions, right? Like these bigger ones, like well,
None of the
dependent,
nationals make money.
dependent, right? Well,
No,
ma-
they
no
no
national.
they can't make no. So
Because I was gonna
uh,
say, depending on how much they're
local
making, probably give it
needs
back some to what you're providing.
right. I think national. Well, you can do what you're talking about, but national meets aren't going to ever make. And you would have to charge such a high entry fee to get to that level of profitability, or spectator tickets, depending on what you want to do. To someone's here.
Isaiah said he doesn't know if IPF Worlds is a place for that, though. All these ideas feel so American. Listen,
Have you ever been to like a pub in Britain, bro? Like, have you ever seen those videos where they have the soccer game on the big screen and like everyone's going nuts? Like, this is not like. Have you ever been to a soccer game anywhere in Europe? Like, it's literally just an IPF thing. The IPF are the only people that think it needs to be like that. The Olympics don't. I don't. Like, no one at the local level thinks that's how it is. Like, for some reason, they're kind of stuck in this, like, I think they look at Olympic lifting, which is like that, which is very docile and very like, oh, it's on the Red Army Choir song playing.
yeah.
Like, like, I think they look at Olympic lifting and go, oh, we want to be that, as opposed to like, why don't we kind of do what we're good at, right?
Well,
Like,
2016 Nationals in Atlanta, Josh Rohr had it to where people could buy beers and just be drinking in the audience. That was fun.
every other
I mean, people,
sporting event ever.
yeah, like people were drunk. Ray Williams is squatting 1,000 pounds. Like that. Like, hey, maybe people didn't even know that was 1,000 pounds because they were so just living life, you know?
Yeah, but they knew it was a lot of weight. Okay,
Yeah.
they looked at the whoa.
I mean, Nuck If You Buck was playing like super Atlanta of them. People were drinking beer like peak time. Peak time.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand. Yeah, right. It's like everyone's like, oh, that was really awesome, and then never did it again. Like, this is so cool, and we never did.
No, yeah. You know, I thought about that. I was like, why have we not ever, like, I mean, that's when they try to introduce like the walkout songs, everything like that. And they did mess that up 100% because people would hear the walkout song and it wasn't even them supposed to be on the platform. So there was a lot of confusion to where I can see them cutting that out with such a large event. But yeah, like beer, Nuck If You Buck, Ray Williams squatting 1,000 pounds. Now we have Jesus who also can do that.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I'm pretty sure like adding in some beer is not going to kill anybody. I hope not.
And I think I talk to the intermingle the liquor bees at PA quite frequently, and we try. Some of the issues are like the venue, like the venues have like food and beverage minimums, and like some of that stuff can be very, very expensive. And it's like, well, at a certain point, you gotta you gotta find a way to make it happen.
Yeah.
I think is what I say. Just find a way. Like, just figure it out. Like, there's no, like, you could probably make money if you did it right. Like, you could charge $10 a beer, make $5 a beer. And like, they're a nonprofit. Like, PA is a nonprofit. So like, they can do a lot. You have accessibility to a lot more things when you're a nonprofit, which is great. And like, it really does all go to charity. Like, the board is not paid. There's 2 people in the organization that are paid who work 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
So like, it really is like, it's not charity in the sense of like kids with no legs, but it is like giving back to the community and stuff. So I would love to do stuff like that. I think that's why I do this podcast. I'm so glad I had you on, because we're going to clip the part where we're talking about drinking. And like, we need that. Like, that's what's going to grow the sport, because then now, even if your friend doesn't like powerlifting, they're going to come to drink with you, right?
Right.
Like, you go to a Cubs game, you sit in the bleachers, you can't see the game. Like, you're 400 feet away. But like, I'm yelling at left field. Like,
yeah, exactly.
That's what we need to constantly be trying to work on, is how do we make these things more enjoyable besides sport? Because otherwise, then you have to look at, if you do want to make it more entertaining, you have to look at changing the sport itself. And I don't think anyone wants to do that.
Right.
I think people just want to make these events more fun.
And that shouldn't be like, we shouldn't have to beg for that. You know what I mean?
Well, no. So I don't. I just do. Like, my state meet. So my state meet is awesome. We have a $16,000 prize pool. We have food trucks, bouncy houses for the kids. We have a beer truck. Like, we have everything. Now, I'm blessed. I have a massive facility. I can do all that. I have a huge parking lot. But like, if you do it right, you can charge $50 a ticket, and you can make money. There you go, guys. You can make money giving people a great experience, and that's the best of all the worlds, right?
I wonder, and I never, and I hope I will find out this answer, but I wonder if at Sheffield they let people drink in the audience.
I heard Six Pack say that like people are drinking there. I got to imagine that theater.
Like, I can't imagine them not.
Yeah, no, not in Great Britain. Hold on.
Like, I can see people having a few beers before going in. Like, maybe not in your seat, but prior.
I gotta imagine.
Kind of like the tailgating thing.
They have to sell alcohol there. It's cloudy most of the year in Britain. They have nothing else to do.
Yeah, like seasonal depression, people are going to drink.
There's literally no way you can't drink there. I'll ask Big Body, because Big Body was there last year.
SVD is going to reach out to me. Heather, why are you saying this?
Because it's common sense. Wait, hold on. We go to Sheffield and not drink. That's the whole concert vibe point. Oh,
Yeah.
there's got to be someone in this chat that knows. New beer hall to open in Sheffield. Oh, no. There is a beer hall in Sheffield, though. If that's not already a thing, it's because of the venue. It's not because
Right.
of them. No one would actively be like, yeah, don't drink here. That's stupid. All right, me and Heather solving all of powerlifting's ails by adding alcohol. To need everyone lubed up.
Like,
But
we'll
like,
even like have an Uber QR code.
well, no. So like, I go to Bears tailgates, Chicago Bears tailgates, and I pay $50 to park to cook my own food and to drink my own liquor. Like, anyone who can run a business like that is just genius.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the one paying to cook my own food and drink my own beer. And guess what? I'll fucking do it again.
I wonder who's going to be the one to ruin it for us, though.
No, but that's the problem. It's like, of course, there are going to be idiots. Of course, there are going to be dummies. Of course, there's going to be the guy who tries to wear the slingshot underneath his uniform. That doesn't mean we quit powerlifting. That doesn't mean we stop powerlifting.
That was also an insane time. That guy running.
Running away.
That's good. Like, I would love to see that while tipsy. Like, look at that guy running. Why is he running?
Yeah. Don't get me started on betting. You got to be able to bet on it too. That's for sure coming.
Oh, like who's gonna win?
Yes. Yeah, you got to be able to wager on it. That's just American.
People just going in debt because they've gambled their life savings away on betting.
People do that already. Might as well add powerlifting in.
Yeah.
I have a $500 bet that Agatha is going to place higher at Sheffield than Sunita, so I'll be locked in. Sure.
I am an Agatha stan.
Like, I love absolutely. The fucking Terminator, bro. Do you see her schedule? Like her daily schedule?
Yes.
I'm like, you can't beat her.
Like, she is such a like genuinely good person. Like, I love her to death, and I've been so fortunate to compete alongside of her, talk with her, just have conversations with her. And so, like, if anybody like tries to like shame her in any way, like, you're gonna have a 4'10" little girl coming at you. Like,
I'm just like, I'm so impressed. I can't believe more people haven't adopted like the 6-day-a-week SBD or anything. Like, she's just incredible.
She's just built different.
It's just built different, yeah.
I could say I'm built different, but right now I'm built pretty fucking bad. So, like, I'm just built to survive, like in survival mode. Like, you know, when you get that low battery notification, it's like power saver. That's me. That's the mode I'm in right now. But yeah, like, and I think like over there, she gets paid to be an athlete, so her schedule may look like chaotic and like, yeah, this is why she's winning because look at her schedule.
Yeah.
But it's also like something that's not too known about in the US, especially in like powerlifting, to where people are getting paid a significant amount to where they can quit their day job and just solely focus on that.
No, and like that's another one of like my goals. That's why I invented the Pro Duel and stuff, is like to create some sort of commercialized thing with powerlifting.
Right.
But like the other thing too, and I talked with Mike Gold about this, is if you win Sheffield and you make 40,000 euros or whatever in Poland, that's like, you're like rich as fuck.
Yeah.
So like, it's different for them because they can make that money, and that cost of living is so much lower that they're actually quite wealthy for that. So there is kind of a debuff living in the United States in that respect.
Especially considering where you live, because the cost of living in North Carolina or Atlanta is going to be significantly different than somebody from California who may win, because the cost of living is just so drastically more expensive.
Well, yeah, people don't my meets are a lot more expensive. I live in Chicago metro area. I live in Naperville.
Yeah.
It's one of those affluent areas. So like my meat costs $150 because minimum wage is $15 an hour.
Right.
So I pay my meat staff really well and stuff, but things just cost more because they're in different zip codes basically.
Y'all's minimum wage is 15.
Yes,
Dang, down
I own a
here it's 7.50.
yes, yes. So if my minimum wage is 15, that means like the worst worker. That means like the person who just sits at the desk makes 15.
Hmm.
So that means the person that cleans has to make like 17,
Yeah,
18. And like so like it pushes everyone up. Personal trainers got to make like 30,
yeah,
40. And like it's listen, I don't complain about it because everything's relative, right?
right.
Cost of a burrito is more, cost of everything is more. And when I do travel, my dollars go further
Right.
because of that. So when I go travel, I can buy more stuff
Hmm.
as well. But I can't complain about everything.
Who
Well,
do you think's going to win Sheffield this year?
Agatha.
Okay. Top three.
Uh, Agatha, Sunita. I haven't looked enough to get a third, but Sunita looks crazy. I feel bad betting against her, but like,
I mean,
as a
she just did, what, 7 pounds?
701, bro. No, but her like GL is crazy. As a super heavyweight to have a GL like that is
Yeah.
insane. I don't know about a third. I don't really. It's too much math. To figure out who I think a third place person is going to be. Who's looking
Well,
good? Can I put?
guys,
Can I put them? Oh, how about Alba? Give me Alba. I just love Alba.
Alba was a surprise to me.
Put
Getting
together.
put in.
The IKEA Swedish meatball fueled. That's all I know about Sweden. Oh, Evie? Yeah, I forgot about Evie. I love Evie because Evie's an administrator in the New Zealand Powerlifting
I
Federation.
know.
And so she's like any volunteers get my like, yeah. Like she like
Evie's a very chill. She's a chill guy. You know what I mean? Like
chill guy.
just a chill guy. But yeah, Evie. Um, while I think she's gonna do well and progress the 52 kilo world record, I don't think it's going to stand against Agata or Sunita at this point. So she definitely could place third, but I don't see second or first. Third is still great. Like,
Right, no, that's still what gotta be 10 grand if you throw a record into there.
I did like seeing Jessica Espinal get the world record, 47 kilo total. I didn't like not
And
seeing
then
her get
not get
invited.
invite. Well, that's anti-American because both Gavin and her have world records and didn't get any additional invites. They just don't like Americans. I don't.
I,
No,
I was just
come
like,
on, like there's no
okay.
other reason. Like, listen, that's fine.
Like, and in my head, I'm like, you know what? Like, I like the people that are selected. I hope they do well, but I want to know the thought process behind it.
So that's my chief issue. My chief issue is okay. You have this competition, which has now become the pinnacle of powerlifting,
Yeah.
right? It wasn't at first, so like it really didn't matter that it was low, but then it's become this now. So now you really just need a more transparent selection process.
Hmm.
Like you need kind of better guardrails. Like I mean,
And like, I think, and it's not my event. You can invite whoever you want to, but at the end of the day, I believe, and this is just my opinion, that whoever holds the current world record, if they did the way they were supposed to, like at a regional or international event, prior to what they would deem the cutoff to be able to get a wild card selection, I think they should definitely be at the top to get that, and then anybody underneath it. Because
yeah,
like junior worlds and like again, I like that Alba was considered, right? Like she's in there, she's doing great. But then I think, well, why not Jessica, right? Um, because I think that's like kind of like a biased opinion on me because I do want to see that 47 kilo. I feel like the 47 kilos were just kind of brushed to the side sometimes.
I don't think that's biased because it's a meet about world records and it's someone who has the world record.
Well, there's going to be somebody that pushes Tiffany Chapone right now. It's going to be her. And,
Right. No.
Tiffany
Yeah.
Chapone is very, very strong. I just don't see the progression happening at the rate right now that Jessica is progressing. And I don't know how long Chapone could stay in the 47 kilo class and consider making just such great gains like she did when she first started. Like that's what happens. And you're young. Like who knows? She could go into the 52 kilo class and do great and give Evie a run for her money. But I would have liked to see that battle. I think a lot of people would have. Um, but it is what it is. So,
Yeah.
but and that's like it goes back to um, with the guys. Like I would have loved to also see Delaney being somebody that could have been selected, but like there were better contenders than him.
Yeah.
Delaney's just my like
Yeah.
when somebody asks like, do you think that you'll get a Sheffield wild card? I'm like, hello? Like, one, I haven't really competed, and two, when I did, like, I undershot everything for obvious reasons. Like, I straight up said, I do not deserve to get that invite. Like, that's me holding myself accountable as an athlete. Like, I don't want to be even considered in that position because there are so many more people that are deemed more worthy of that position than I am. But like, I mean, there's some athletes that were saying, and I'll never forget it because they got the invite and immediately accepted it. Good for you. But like, I just remember last week when you were saying like that you didn't even know if you wanted to do anything like this. Like you were just, you're boohoo, you're crying, blah, blah, blah. Like,
Why would you not? Like,
like I get it. Like you had a bad meet, you're sad. But you just let all of social media know, like, you're not deserving, you're not this, you're not that. And then the second the invite comes in, that whole mindset just like, oh yeah, I'll take it.
hey, it's like, I guess what's the analogy? Like, when when it actually knocks, oh yeah, okay, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. And there are some good storylines. I am interested to see how the guys do, especially with Cahill going down to the 66 kilo class and that world record just getting upped again. That
Oh,
was
right.
cool.
It'll make it more interesting because I think he was pretty much, if he just had a 95% day, he was going to run away with it. And that's like not what you want in a sport.
Right.
Like you don't want a sporting event where people run away with it, right?
He's
That's boring.
just built like a box. Like I wonder, like for anybody that doesn't know, like he might be like that much shorter than me. I'm calling it.
No, so I was really funny. So I was really bad. So Fado's back, the Russian guy.
Hmm.
He looks like a munchkin. So I'm like, hey, bro, Wicked was like last weekend. Like, you need to get back with the Wicked Witch.
Like I saw Sergey was back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what
And
we're talking about. Yeah, he looks like a munchkin.
and his rack height was actually shorter than mine. Now, I don't like that
He
dude.
needs to
He's
go
never
back to
done
Oz,
anything
bro.
wrong to me. He's done
He's
nothing
a
to me,
cheater.
but he is a cheater. He did get caught cheating in the past. Um, and for me, like you shouldn't be allowed to come back after that. Um, but you ever like get a feeling that somebody just might smell bad?
Oh, for sure. Yes. As someone who owns a gym,
And
yeah.
not saying he smells bad at all, but like if I even think somebody smells bad, you're not getting close to me because what if your smell gets on me? Like that's gonna ruin my life. Like I had to tell Ryan Lapidat that. Like he's like, do you let people? No, I'm like, no, not everybody can come up and hug me. No. Mm-mm.
No, that's a weird thing. I'm uncomfortable when people hug me. I'm like,
Like I will actually
I
be so
didn't know you
physically
like
with
that.
you.
Like, get out of here. There was one.
I did fall asleep on like an Algerian man on a plane. One of the super one of the super heavyweights from Algeria. I did fall asleep on his shoulder, and I woke up smelling like the strongest cologne ever.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say you probably smell like eyes. So you teach, right? What grade do you teach?
I used to teach first through
Oh, okay.
fifth. Yeah.
So I was gonna say like a high school locker room literally smells like a Hollister. Like it smells like every cologne.
Yeah, like the fifth graders, like I would have extra deodorant sticks like
Mm.
in my
Because
drawers, like,
that's the
hey.
time. Yeah, hey, got you a gift.
No, no, Isaiah, I need you to understand this isn't about anybody from any part of the other country. No, if you're an American and I think you see, you're not getting around me. Like, it's not happening. Mm-mm.
Oh, well,
I
we
can say
know.
that at local level, regional levels,
That's
national
why
levels, like, nah.
the entire federation. If you look like you smell, I'm done.
It's literally just a look.
Wait,
Now,
hold on. Like, what does the look like? Like, is it like?
like if you just look like you don't wipe right, like I don't know, like You know, like I don't.
It's a vibe. It's
It's a
not.
vibe. It's a vibe.
Oh,
It's a
God.
vibe. No, like it literally doesn't matter what country you're in. Like countryside, you could be in America, and if I just have this, my radar is going off. Like, no,
They say, yeah, this is the part of the pod that makes people dislike
mm-mm.
Americans. Good, bro. Good, bro. There's gonna be a cruise missile in your neighbor's yard, bro. Like,
Like I just like it's almost like a phobia that I have against like redheaded men.
wait,
I don't like it.
what?
Like,
That's like that. That's like the whole like you need to like split your genes, right? That's what it's like a gene pool. Like you can't have another like redhead because you have to like it has to be different. Like you have to go.
I don't know what it is.
No, I'm sure.
Like I just like why are you freaking me out?
You're
Like,
like redheaded women,
no,
redheaded men.
just men. Like,
All right.
and I don't know if it's because like of Ron Weasley from Harry Potter. Like, I just never liked him. So
Oh,
maybe
he's kind
I just
of annoying. He is kind of annoying at this time. Hermione's kind of annoying too, like in the
yeah.
beginning, for sure. All right. Well, we're closing in. We're past the hour mark. I want to thank you so much. No, you're not editing anything out. Okay, we shoot from the hip. Okay, I want the national office up my ass again. If they're not up my ass, I know I'm not saying anything relevant. So, anyway, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you at Nats. If you are, maybe come on Pro Sheffield. We'll break that down. But thank you. Anything else?
Look at this comment.
Guardian Stelios.
No, he gets it. He knows. He
Yes,
knows.
yes, he
Nick
knows.
knows.
What's
He
good
knows.
the line?
Like,
I think it's a
no.
girl.
Oh no,
Oh,
it's
is it?
no. It's,
Okay, the
I know
line.
him.
Oh, okay.
No, he would be the person that knows. I don't like smelly people, and I don't like redheaded men. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Right.
There's the person to
I'm
vouch
making a
for me.
meme. I'm making a meme about that. Heather, it's gonna be the Grinch list. The Grinch, the Grinch. He has his list of like solve world hunger, tell no one. I'm gonna make the list, and it's gonna say Heather no list, smelly men and just smelly people and ginger men.
Yeah, like both suck.
Oh yeah. Thank you so much. Sorry about Texas. It's okay. They'll still be in the playoff. And go follow Heather. Heather Connor. I think more people are going to follow us because Heather's got like 30K. Anyway, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
All right, I'll talk to you
Have a good one.
soon.
Bye.
Bye.